welcome to the Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel, and as always, I'm deeply grateful and honored that you're choosing to tune in, that you're choosing to join me in a moment of expanding our consciousness, in a moment of allowing for the next great and grand expression of who and what we are to emerge. And that next great and grand expression, it always lies beyond our current and present comfort zone. So this is another way of saying all of this, is that we are on the path of ever expansion, of ever moving beyond what we're comfortable with, what we're familiar with, so that the new, the greater, and the grander may emerge in us and through us. Today we are talking about something very much related to this. I heard the topic for today, and I need to read it because I don't always remember it. I heard someone say, I was having a conversation with a dear friend a few days ago, and she was sharing a quote from Reverend Deborah Johnson. And Reverend Deborah Johnson apparently used to say that God doesn't call the prepared, but God prepares the called. And that's the topic for today. That is what we're talking about today. Coming into an understanding that God has no favorites, that we need not qualify for anything. We need not deserve or earn God's grace in any way, shape, or form. But as we are willing to move forward, because the will of God, all right, let's begin here. The will of Spirit, the will of God, the purpose of all of creation, the purpose of all of life is for God to reveal itself, to express itself in ever greater and grander ways. It can be said in different ways, but that's how I say it. That's how I say it. So what that means is that the evolutionary impulse that penetrates and permeates all of creation, nudging, pulling, sometimes kicking and shoving beings and planets and the universe and the cosmos into expansion. That is God's way of being expressed in ever greater and grander ways. So in our personal lives, whenever we move outside of who we are right now, whenever we allow for expansion to happen, whenever we move in a different direction, whenever we begin to make new choices, what is happening is that more of the love, more of the joy and the wholeness and the abundance and the harmony and the creativity and all of these beautiful divine qualities, what is happening is that more of these are being revealed. In other words, the more we grow, the more we expand, the more we unfold, allowing for that which we are, more of that which we already are, that which we've always been, allowing for more of that to come to the surface, for more of that to be revealed, for more of that to emerge. The more of God is being revealed, the more of God is being expressed, the more of God is emerging. So God doesn't ever become more of itself, it only reveals more of itself, right? God is always, God is changeless. It's always, it cannot, it's always the same. So it just expands its expression. So when we are, and to this end, we are being implanted with divine seeds, intuitions, visions, dreams, goals, intentions that allow us to stretch, that allow us to go beyond who we are today and allow for something new to emerge. And when that happens, many of us get stuck at the level of fear, get stuck at the level of not being enough, at the level of not having enough. So we perhaps catch that we are to move into a particular creative endeavor, or that we want to change something in our lives. We want to perhaps change our career, moving from perhaps a well-paid career into something more soulful and heartful, where we get to express more of our uniqueness. Or it can be something else. But whenever we have that inner nudge, that inner desire to do something that we've not done before, to go somewhere where we've not gone before, that desire, that inner nudge, that dream, that vision, that intention, that goal, it's a divine seed, right? Now, many of us get stuck at the level of, oh, I don't know how. I can't see how. So we get stuck at the level of what is realistic, what is probable, what is logical, what is reasonable, and all of that. Now, God, being infinite, knows nothing of logic or probability or what is reasonable. God only knows about infinite possibilities. So whenever we catch whatever it is that we're catching, that idea or vision or dream or goal or whatever, that is a seed planted within us. Now, for that seed to come into fruition, there needs to be expansion in us. Like we're like vessels, we're like conduits, we're like, I think those two are good expressions and examples. We're like vessels and I was referring to channels and conduits through which this new expression will emerge. But this new expression that is more expanded than we are now, for it to come through fully, it means that the conduit and the channel needs to expand. We need to expand. We need to change to be that conduit and to be that channel for this to come through. In that we need to change, it is not up to us to figure out what needs to change. It is not up to us to come up with a plan for the change to take place. It is not up to us to set schedules as to when things need to happen. But Spirit, being omniscient, meaning that Spirit knows all, sees all, being infinite, knows exactly what needs to happen, when it needs to happen, and how it needs to happen. So God doesn't call it prepared, but God prepares the call. So it is in God's highest interest that when we are implanted with a seed, that we become the fertile soil, the right and ripe conditions for that seed to emerge. So it is in God's highest interest to guide and lead and move us every single step of the way, right? So it is in God's highest interest that we are being prepared, not pre-prepared, but that we are being prepared as we move forward, that all of our needs are being met when we need them, that everything that needs to come up within us comes into our awareness, where we can observe it, where we can embrace it, where we can allow it, and then release and let it go, so that then something greater and grander may emerge. So all the small and limited thought patterns and habits and perceptions and judgments and opinions and thoughts as to what should and should not be, they will come up where we can embrace it, where we can allow it, where we can release and let it go. All of our needs, everything that we will need to allow for this new version, vision, expression, iteration, dream, goal to emerge, we will have it. We will have it. Anything else, anything less, would be spirit going against itself. And that cannot be. God cannot change up on itself. God cannot compromise itself. Spirit cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't matter. God is always for itself. It cannot ever be against itself. There is no denial in God. There's no delay in God. There's no no in God. God is always and only for expanded expression. So God prepares the called. God calls upon us to move into expansion. God calls upon us to say yes to a dream, to a vision, to a goal or an intention. And as we say yes, because we need to say yes, we need to say yes. As we say yes, we will be prepared for that vision to come into fruition. We will be prepared for that intention, that dream to come into manifestation. We will be prepared. God doesn't call upon the prepared, but God prepares the called. Those that are saying yes, I'm inclined to ask. So God calls, we say yes, and we will be prepared. We will be guided. We will be moved. We will be sourced and fueled and funded. And we will be sustained and maintained beyond belief. Beyond belief. Beyond anything that we've ever imagined. And the only thing that is required of us is the yes, which does not mean that I need to know how, which does not mean that I need to know when, which does not mean that I even need to know what I'm saying yes to. But we are required to say yes. And we are required to be willing to allow for change to occur. We're willing to do the inner work necessary to release and let go of that which no longer serves, that which is not in alignment with the highest possibility for whatever vision or dream or goal that we have caught. And thus allowing for that which is in alignment, that which now serves. So there's a continuous growth, there's a continuous expansion that happens, continuous transformation that happens. But it is not up to us any more than it is up to the acorn to make the oak tree happen. Any more than it is up to the egg to make the chicken happen. Inherent in every single seed and every dream, idea, vision, intention that we catch, these are seeds. Inherent in every single seed is the full potential. It is encoded with everything that it needs. But that encodement, it's like a treasure hunt where we're given clues. So one clue leads us to a particular place, and in that place another clue appears that takes us to yet another place, and there's a clue that takes us to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. Just like anytime we're going on a journey, it is a step by step by step motion. Each step prepares us for the next step. So no one comes fully equipped, but that is not at all true. We all come fully equipped. We all come fully equipped with everything that is needed to birth any idea that we catch, any dream that we catch. We all come fully equipped. But what I meant to say was that none of us come fully prepared. None of us come fully prepared. But the preparation happens along the way. So what is required is our yes. What is required is our willingness to do the inner work necessary to keep moving forward. So that's our invitation today and this is kind of like the theme for right now. I know that these talks, they are being dispersed and not published all at the same time, but this is the theme right now. It's a big theme in my life. Saying yes to the next great and grand expression that is seeking to emerge, that is wanting to be birthed. So I want to thank you for joining me, for participating, for tuning in. And as always, until the next time we meet, I bless all of our ways, and I bless all of our days. With much love, many blessings to us all. Namaste.